This Unlimited proudly presents.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Diz Unlimited podcast, episode 21. I am Rhino, and I'm going to be leading our fun discussion today, live from the studio that Dreams Build. Joining me for this fun chat is the one, the only, the return of Miss Teresa Eccles.
Hello. So happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here. You are like, I'm so, when Craig said that you were going to be here today, it filled my heart with so much joy.
I know you
and
thought,
happiness.
Grandma's coming.
Oh, she's going to have her bag of snacks. And she did.
And
She didn't even
Grandma's
disappoint.
here.
They were salt and vinegar related, so I'm not going to complain.
Next time, honey. Just
okay.
let me know what you want.
I don't love salt and vinegar here,
I'll make
but
special brownies for you.
perfect. Fantastic. Well, I hope everybody out there has been bracing themselves for the hurricane, because we also have Hurricane Hannah Anderson.
I love an intro.
Oh.
Hi, still here.
Well, yeah, okay.
That's all
Well,
I can
and
say.
speaking of Big Daddy, we have the one, the only, the person that makes all this happen, Mr. Craig Williams,
Ahoy.
back in his little area back there. Not so little area. That's a pretty big desk back there. It's nice. I like what you've
Good
done with
size.
the place.
It's a command center.
Yeah. I like the word command center way better than a nook, because there is no nook here.
No,
This
it's
is a
not a
very
nook.
open
No,
space. So
it is.
it's like that scene in Batman when she's like, "Can you pass the salt?" What's that? Can you pass the salt? Anyway.
Yeah.
You know what
All
it
right.
makes me think of? 911, what's your emergency? You're sitting
Oh, yeah.
with all those things.
I mean, it kind of is that.
constant
And
emergency.
I realized, too,
Diz
I
Unlimited,
really...
what's your emergency?
We didn't have headphone lines running from the old studio to everyone, but I realized I'm like so far away, I'm going to have to fight the urge to scream, because I'm about twice
Yeah.
the distance away from Rhino as we would be in the last place. So it's like...
You're
I
like
mean, I'm-
two or three Craig Williams away from me, and that's a good amount
Yeah,
of distance.
it's like Frasier. There should be a glass wall. There's a room between.
we tried.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Well, because there's a room that's right behind me that I was like, in an ideal world, we would knock out the wall and then we'd put a window and I could actually be in a closed off soundproof booth and then just not be on these shows anymore. But
Aw.
John said no.
John said no?
Yeah.
I say no.
To
too.
knocking
I
out a
don't want
wall
that.
in the brand new
he
rental
didn't.
space.
He
Yeah.
didn't. He didn't say no, but I think his mind would have exploded with how much that would have cost.
It's funny because I see what I did is I went in and painted on the walls before no one could say no, and I think they were pretty upset about it. So there it is. Anyway, this and everything that we do here is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They're experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. When you book with them, it costs you nothing extra on your trip, and you help support the channel and all the content that we produce here. So you can head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com and get a free no obligation quote today, where I got two travel agents, one on either side of me right now.
Yeah.
I'm living
Who's
large
working?
here.
Who's
but
working?
I know. Yeah.
Not us, baby.
Well, I also want to say thank you because to all of our Patreon supporters out here, because without you, we wouldn't be able to do this as well. So if you're interested in becoming one of our Patreon supporters, you can head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited, and that's where we do our after show, our post show that we like to call it here, where it just gets very unhinged most of the time. Craig and I had a pretty good chit chat last time. I feel like on there that like we could have kept going, but it was like 6 p.m. by the time I was like, all right, you gotta go somewhere. You just can't stay here. So it was fun. And if you are a supporter and you can't watch those live, you do get the audio and the playback ability of that later. So don't feel like you're pressured to have to listen and watch at that exact time. In fact, sometimes I think it's more fun to see it after the fact. So yeah, so that is that. Today we are going to be doing a fun, well, hopefully it's fun. I mean, I know it's going to be fun. Question and answer show. So we're answering questions about, Disney, Universal, Disney Cruise Line. What's your travel stuff? What do you got? So if you are watching this live, this is one of those moments where I believe Craig has put in the chat. There's a an area where you can submit your questions in there, and he's going to be monitoring that and feeding us that. But before we go too far, I just want to check in with you, Teresa, because I feel like you haven't been here for a little while, and this is your first day in the new studio, which is not done yet. Obviously, we are not 100% there.
Yeah, this was supposed to be our relaunch date, where we filled the entire room with everyone else, and that it didn't happen. Not because we weren't ready for it. It was just we found out yesterday that John isn't able to be here. So, and Corey's at home, I believe, with a sick Finley. So, another episode with the ragtag bead team.
You just get me extra today. I'm just wondering.
Doesn't everyone love how
there,
nice they're talked to at work?
This is my
still.
first time here, right? So over there, are we going to have the yoga class?
Yeah, we're thinking goat yoga. We'll get.
I want to do goat yoga.
Yeah. I was invited to it, and I was just like, "You want a goat to stand on me?" First of all, you want me to do yoga. Second of all, you want me to do goat yoga? Like I was like, I don't have the spine to be able to do that. I don't think, nor the control not to just.
I can't do it. My sister's a master yoga teacher.
I would like to be. I just pretty much stay in child's pose the entire time. I'll just stay here. Fine.
No, I'm not gonna do it. But I do like the break room you set up over there. That's nice.
Yeah, we got ourselves we got a mini fridge in here now, which is nice. We got a little water cooler. Hopefully we'll have a little TV and a couch, like a little green room waiting area, and then we'll work on the next set, which is going to be more of a relaxed style. Maybe I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't want to play all my cards right now, but we did take a trip to IKEA yesterday to start being like, okay, we got to fill in the next. It's like all these phases because. Unfortunately, it seems like on a piece of paper when you're coming into this brand new blank space, you're like, everything's possible. But when you're not interior designers, you kind of have to wait for the big things, like these tables to come in and then figure out how you fill out the space around that. And then last night we were here and, Craig was hanging lights from the ceiling and we're kind of figuring out the placement of those sort of things and how that's going to work and move. And I feel like it's gelling. It's getting there. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, it's not the only thing you're doing. You're actually you're out doing your work.
Oh, it's the only thing I do. I only work 3 hours a week.
Right now, you don't do anything.
I'm only here for this one show.
You do
and
nothing.
You guys know I don't do anything else. Yeah.
Right?
No.
You work 3 hours a week.
Dead weight. Just call me a piece of wood because I am dead weight in the ocean.
Absolutely
I don't know what that even means, but
whatever it means, we disagree.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a little jealous you guys went to IKEA without me. That was my dream.
Right?
You shouldn't. I thought Craig was going to push me down the show.
I know.
At one point.
So you and I are going to go.
I dream too big at IKEA.
I love IKEA. I'm
I
going
do
after we leave
too.
here. After I leave here, because I'm close.
We could do a makeover show. You know, we could.
He feels like IKEA ended up being a waste of time, but we left with cubes, like storage cubes, and some other things that we needed. A shelf that I put together wrong, and then that you couldn't undo. So it's fine. The snack cart is okay. It survived because we have a little snack cart we got.
Oh, you put that
Priorities.
together?
But we needed to be in the same room at the same time to look at the type of desks that we want to work from, and I feel like we ended up agreeing on a design and a set type, and so. I know as much as sometimes he thinks it's a waste of time. I'm like, no, we needed to do that. I'm upset because there were green chairs there that I really wanted.
Really?
And I was told no.
Well, call me in when you're ready to bring in the fabrics.
That's me. I'm like,
they were
let's get
these
some
emerald green
curtains.
velvet chairs.
Yes.
They were gorgeous. I was like, give me a neon
when you bring in
sign.
the fabrics and the finishing touch, when you're ready to, set the stage.
Some lamps.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm ready for that.
She's
Maybe
good.
a nice rug.
When we need our super suits, we'll bring you in too, obviously.
Oh, yes.
You okay back there?
Absolutely.
I am. I wasn't going to insult you, but
You
I
can.
feel like you set the stage for it. My problem with shopping at Rhino was just he wasn't flexible with what he wanted. It was like, I want this specific desk with these chairs, and it's
He
a
didn't like the
flimsy,
cheap desk.
He's
it's
a
a flimsy, cheap IKEA desk, and I'm like, his friend Jill that was with us put it perfectly each time. It's like, this is the fast fashion of any world, and it's not built to last. It's not built to sustain, and I need something that's a little bit durable.
Well, he also was looking at literally tables that were just like wood, 4 legs, and I was like, boring. I want drawers. I want to be able to put my pencils in something, because he kept asking me, what are you going to put in there? And I'm like, pencils.
Number
More
2,
snacks?
what kind of pencils
More
do
snacks?
you
That's
use?
what I said.
You got to have snackage.
Number
drawer.
2, colored pencils.
Yeah.
Those
Gel
are important.
pens.
Sharpies.
Sharpies.
Scented
Ooh,
markers.
You got
Guys,
to have
I end up
Sharpies.
using these way more than but anyway. But we found a good I feel like we found a good median. And,
and then he's gonna find like a coffee cup or some sort of cup that he likes somewhere, and he's like, "Ooh, I can put pens inside this and put it on."
I
top
don't
of the
want
desk.
it on the desk. I like a naked desk.
Do you?
Oh, really?
Oh,
no,
no.
not me.
No, because everything
I just
in the
got this
drawers- No, you-
amazing 60-year-old jar
Yeah.
that from the. I put my pencils in it on my desk at home.
I like
See,
a
that's
lamp.
speaking my
We
language.
did get lamps. We got lamps.
a little shabby, a little new.
So I like a desk lamp, and I like
Love
to
a
be
lamp.
because I spread out. Sometimes computers over here, and I have a piece of paper. Sometimes it's like here. Sometimes I have the keyboard. So I need the customizable.
I have a complaint right now.
That first complaint, talking to the microphone.
Okay, I don't like my view of Rhino
Why?
because I'm looking through a pole at
You a
you.
little too fat.
Yeah.
No, it's like
No.
you're
I
dancing
was
on the
saying,
pole.
yeah, I'm looking
Are
at
you
your
looking? Are you?
pole.
Somebody
you
called
see
me
you
it's
fat
very
earlier this
slimming.
week, and I have
Are you
not
for
recovered.
real?
I have not come. Yeah,
To
3
your
times
face
in a
or
row.
in the comments?
Nope, to my face. Walked
your
in and they
face?
went, "Oh my God, you've gained a lot of weight." Like I mean,
Wow.
Somebody
a
you
lot
know?
of weight. Yep.
Somebody
and
you
I
know?
have seen them recently, so I was like, I gave and it was not like a friendly, like funny, haha. And it was like one of those where I'm on the way to go see Moulin
Was
Rouge.
it a man or a woman?
It was a woman.
Wow.
So yes, I did not hit her.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
I would have. Yeah, definitely.
I would have pulled her
slashed
hair. I
That's
thought about it for a
wrong.
second.
Not said anything.
Anyway,
I mean,
it
I
was
know
fine,
what
3
I
times in a
am.
row.
But you don't have to remind me what I am.
Well,
or
why-
how I
well,
am.
I
feel
said,
entitled
you know
to
what?
why
And
would
I
you
said,
say
you
that?
know who can feel? No one can feel that better than me. Thank you for that. Like, it was fine. You know what? It all worked out because they had also picked the restaurant, and it was awful. So I was in my head. I was like, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, the last thing I'll say, and then we'll get started on the Q&A, actually.
Just waiting for the questions
the-
rolling.
I was setting up all of the microphones by myself, trying to figure out what the sight lines would be. We can work on it after the show when people are in seats, and we can move that stuff
Oh
around.
yeah, there was no.
Okay.
It was just me and him, and we did a thing where like I'd sit and he'd say, "Look back and forth," and I'd be like, "Okay, this is okay." Yours did end up moving at the last minute though, so it's fine.
Let
Yeah.
me look at you. Okay, I can see you now.
You might need to be like on this corner. We'll figure it out for the after
Okay.
after
I'm
show
just,
or something.
I'm just
So
putting in my 2 cents worth, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
So
you can
Grandma
put in
does when
all
she
your
arrives.
cents as long as you remember this is a podcast.
She
and
likes
talking to that microphone.
she likes
Okay.
that chair that can move, and I think
I
that
know
was
that's
like,
going to drive me crazy. Am I the only one moving? I like this.
No, I moved.
No,
slightly.
I moved too. I know.
It's nice. And those
That's a
slight
pretty
tilt.
swivel chairs,
Guys,
right?
this is the first time I've ever worked for this company, and my butt does not already immediately hurt before we
Right?
got
Oh my
started.
God, you're
Or I
right.
feel like I'm about to collapse and the chair's going to impale me, and it's a whole thing. I have a lot of anxiety. Do you guys know this?
No.
If you're just
No, it's
tuning
okay.
in,
There's
welcome to
medicine for
Therapy
that.
with Rhino.
You're right. This is comfortable.
Craig, what do you got for us? You got a good one? Catch
Give me
you
a
off
second.
guard? I'm so sorry.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
all the questions now are going to be about IKEA and chairs and.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, you know, I just we're gonna have fun today. We're gonna enjoy
Absolutely,
ourselves,
we
enjoy our
always do.
company. We're gonna just
I
get
was
the
worried
vibe
about
going.
being here with you, Hannah.
Were you?
Yeah,
Why
she was. She
not?
talked about it before you got here.
I don't
Let's-
know why.
let's unpack
I was
this.
just.
I said, "Don't worry, she's trash."
I've just.
I am. That is true.
I said, well, she's like, she looks perfect. She's half my
What?
age. It was just really
Oh.
causing me a lot of anxiety.
Are you
You're a
kidding
good
me?
travel agent. And I'm just like,
No,
what do I
you're
do?
the best travel agent.
Oh,
You know how many
please,
times
no.
people like, you
No.
know, they're your clients or they reference you. You were the
They reference me,
queen.
yeah,
they
they do.
because you are. You are knowledgeable.
You got to be a
were
special person to
fun.
be my client. You got to be laid back.
That is
Not
yeah.
ask me for anything.
Right? No,
I
I
know.
You gotta
I
book
mean,
your
I'm
own
here
trip.
for you. I'm evolving. Every year I think I'm a better agent than I was the year
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, for
That's
I
all
mean,
you can hope for, yeah.
It's taken me 15 years to get to where I am now. Now I'm thinking about retirement. So, you know,
that's
Oh,
the
don't
dream,
leave
baby.
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. As long as I
I
can sit
feel
in a
like-
chair, I'm good.
Asking clients to be laid back when it comes to Disney travel is not. I hear what you're saying because actually there is some truth in that because Disney is there's so many variables. There's things that can go wrong like
Yeah.
the weather, dining reservations, you know, lightning lanes you don't get. So you
Right.
gotta be.
Well, I was
little-
honestly
I
going
mean,
to
if you
say, I
wanna
was
have
like,
a good time,
I
mean,
imagine the people that do go to travel agents are probably the most stressed out people there are. Like,
Well, there's
depends.
two, in my group. There's the ones that could be a travel agent themselves. They know so much about the product, and there's others that are coming to you for guidance because they don't know what they're doing.
yeah,
you know.
it just changes. The landscape changes so quickly.
It
that, like,
does, and people are coming to travel agents for that reason.
I wouldn't-
because they don't want to deal with all the changes themselves.
If I had left like 2 years ago and like moved back, or let's say like the pandemic, and I've been like, all right, see you guys later, I'm moving home, like, and then I would come back today. Even as somebody who's been here and worked here and stuff, I think it would be a struggle to like navigate a Walt Disney World vacation
Yeah.
for sure.
It's definitely different.
Disneyland's definitely easier, I think, but that's I mean
definitely
everyone
different.
says that's debatable because I've had people who have like Disneyland you can make all the wrong choices and it kind of then you have this expectation that I feel like I set up where I was like it's great.
Right.
But then I'm like, well, if you don't listen to what I say, you're going to kind of shoot yourself in the foot.
Or
if
you gotta listen to the advice that I had a client the other day. Her flight got changed, so she's coming in late the night before she was supposed to come in. Can't get her a room where she wants to stay. So I said, you're just gonna be sleeping. Just
Yeah.
stay at the airport, the Hyatt at the airport.
That's exactly what I would do. Yeah.
And she hadn't even thought of that. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
well,
And that's a game changer when you're talking about
Yep.
coming in late, being tired,
And you're not gonna do anything
right.
for your vacation that day. You're just arriving.
Yeah, so just
that-
focus on getting rest
Yeah.
and saving a couple dollars.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
That's what you gotta do.
That's true. So
Greg, hit us with the chat.
hit us.
Okay. First question we have is asked by Rachel. What's your favorite new dining location? So, like, opened 2023.
Hydraulic snacks.
And on. Yeah.
No.
Sure.
Get out.
Oof, that's a tough one. What did we have? We had Summer House on the Lake opened at Disney Springs. We had the
Yeah.
hydraulic snack.
We had Eat. You had
Eat.
technically Rodeo. Rodeo.
Was 2023,
Rodeo
yeah.
Barbecue.
I would honestly, I'm going to say Eat. I really, really enjoyed Eat. and-
Roundup Rodeo.
Excuse me?
Roundup Rodeo Barbecue.
What did you call it?
I kept
Rodeo
wanting to call it
Roundup?
Rodeo Springs.
Is
Like,
there
Rodeo-
Rodeo Springs, yeah.
That sounds fun. Mine would be Roundup Rodeo Barbecue, if I can
Whatever it's called.
get the name right. And it's funny because I think on one of these shows, I actually said, not that great. I wish there were characters. And it's one of those, I've been a couple of times now, and I like it more each time I go. And then it's one of those restaurants because it's new. We tend to go with like people there on vacation or friends from out of town, and they just eat it up and love it. And I think sometimes
Did you go with
get a
Steve
little
and
jaded.
McKilla?
No, actually, I
just
didn't.
curious if they
No, I
were-
didn't actually go with them.
What old chicken McNugget would have to say about it?
Yeah, and mac and
Oh,
cheese. I
that's
got mac and
Check-
cheese, so
yeah,
he'd
yeah.
be
So
fine.
I want his review.
His palate has expanded, guys, but maybe he'll jump in there. But yeah, it's one of those. We went with friends recently, and I think most people are Toy Story fans, and food is decent, and even if it's not, it's all you care to enjoy. So you can just keep trying
to
until you
enjoy
like
it.
it.
I've only been once, and I do really want to go back. Like I want to give it.
should.
I want to try again. Not that I didn't like it when we went there. Like I have fond memories of it, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I need to watch the video back. But I did try to go again one night, but it was like there was no like standby available because it was one of those like I was in the park and I was with someone, and they were like, oh, I'm bad. They were like, would you want to go here? And I was like, yeah, you know what, I'd give it another try. Like let's go. And there just wasn't availability, unfortunately, but. I liked Eat. I went when
did
Craig
too.
and I went to Eat.
What
I
do you
thought
like about it? I've not been.
I thought it was really good. Well, first of all, I feel like we tried a plethora of things on the menu, and there was still stuff I wanted to go back for. But one thing I've still thought about quite a bit, and I will always tell people I recommend it, was the like they were like the poutine version of their fries that had it was like
Paneer.
chicken. Yeah, the paneer cheese was on it. That was really good. I think we said there was a pizza we got, and I think we said we would try the other pizza the next time we went. But then they have like the bowls and stuff that you can customize yourself. That we both had gotten one in that time, and we're like, oh, I'd do this with this instead next time. And I'm like, I don't know, I like a customizable
The
dining
walking
experience like that.
taco is phenomenal there. I didn't.
They have
go
a
with
walking
you
taco
guys.
there?
Yeah, it's served. It's I don't know exactly what it is, but it's an Indian brand of chips, and they have a little bit more of that Indian spice in it. But it is like a Frito pie.
I will be
sort
going
of.
there this
that
week.
sounds
But
good.
it is phenomenal, and price point on it was great. I think
Yeah.
it's listed as an appetizer, and it definitely I would eat that as a
Was
meal.
it good?
It was very good.
Someplace you guys went recently had fried green tomatoes. Where was that?
Yeah, and I said and I was like, these weren't because I
That's-
said they were
that's
too
my-
thin. It was it
Oh, they were
wasn't
too
new,
thin?
but it was I thought that the tomato got lost. It was
I think
Was
it's
it a
'cause I ate all
standalone or
your-
was it on
was it
something
French
else?
Quarter?
No, I think it was. Are we talking about Pecos Bill? Was it the fried green tomato sandwich?
Yes, it was. It was
for-
Pecos Bill.
So
it was
sandwich. It
And
wasn't
it was a
like a.
seasonal thing.
it was the
though.
the square bread, the white bread, and I was like, it was barely toasted. It was in a snack attack. when we went
Is
to Magic
that-
Kingdom.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it's gone.
The
except for
pimento
Soulfully.
fried green tomato cheese sandwich
Yeah.
thing. And I
Oh,
was
they're
like,
putting all the
it
South
was,
in there.
yeah, it was
I
like all this stuff in there that I was like, I couldn't taste anything that wasn't like the
You
remoulade.
couldn't get the tang of the tomato in there?
no.
No?
And that was the part where I was
Yeah.
like, oh, the tomato was a little thing. I was the only one who felt that way, I think, about tomatoes, but.
Because I love, that's like my go-to.
Well, I think about you because you told us that, and,
Yeah.
and so.
I like hearing that. That means we're like kindred spirits.
You can always bring in fried green tomatoes here. I'll invest in an air fryer for the office if we need to
Really?
reheat them, and so we don't have to
Oh.
microwave them; they get soggy, you know. So anyway,
Air fryers are a game changer.
yeah,
They are.
Change
You
your
need
life.
anything left over with the air fryer.
What about you, Teresa? You been anywhere new in 2023?
I haven't been
2024?
anywhere new. Sadly, I have. I'm trying to think of the places that you've named. I want to try them though. That Eat sounds really good.
Well,
Eat.
is.
we'll get you out on another dining review because
Get
we
me
enjoyed
out, right?
we enjoyed when we went to Beaches and Cream. That was fun. With
Oh, I
Stella.
thought you
Been
just
there in a
didn't
long
like
time.
it, so you're not calling me anymore.
No, I thought we said it.
no,
I thought
never.
Stella did great in that video. I
Craig
thought she.
never calls me.
I don't know. We'll talk to our secretary.
Sad. Find out.
What about you,
Stella's
Craig? What was
like,
your
yeah,
favorite?
I didn't do good.
It was Eat, and we've had a lot of turnover, and now we're getting used to Hannah's schedule. So we're trying to figure out
Oh,
dining
here we
reviews
go.
one day at a time.
Oh, he's making
Thank you very
excuses.
much.
That's so
I know.
sweet. That's
Thank you
so
very much.
sweet. That sounds like my son. I'd come and see.
I
Mom
kept
if
saying,
could.
"Where's Teresa? Invite Teresa." And then Craig
Oh,
said, "I'm kidding."
This doesn't have tea in it, but let's pretend I'm sipping that.
I have to try to manage everyone's schedule. Sometimes it gets very, very frustrating.
What's
We're
the
going to get a dry
manage?
erase board in here. Don't worry.
Oh gosh, I have one at work I'm not using at the office. You guys
Hey,
can have it.
bring
we
it
just,
on over.
We doodle on it.
I like new things.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Wow.
No, bring it. Bring it over.
No.
No, bring it
Go-
over.
no.
I need it. I've
Get
got
your new
markers.
stuff. I'm fine. Go get your new
Yeah, that's
stuff.
right.
All right. What do you got for us, Craig? We got another one in there? Another one worth asking?
I'm going to ask this one from Jen. What is the best park to do on arrival day?
We talking... Okay, so we're saying like... I guess it doesn't matter. Morning.
Man,
Like,
I
maybe
asked the
not.
question. It's on Jen to specify
Yeah, time of day.
what time you're arriving.
Because I think that
and-
depends for me. Because if you're arriving and you get in at like 2:30 or 3, that changes it. Because like, Animal Kingdom, like what are the offerings at night over there versus like Magic
Sure.
Kingdom? So if,
That's
if
kind of
that
a
was the case,
personal
it'd be like,
thing. Because my arrival day for me would be what I want to get out of the way is the stuff that I least like.
Oh, interesting.
Because I want to end it where I want to have
And
that
high
strong
note.
memory at the end.
I'm thinking about it in terms of like, okay, so when I travel to Disneyland, we kind of consistently are always on that like first flight of the day. We get out there, get our stuff, whatever. We're in Anaheim, like dropped off everything. Like we're in the park there by like, 12, like
Yeah.
noon. Like so for me, it's kind of like, yeah, I do like going to Disneyland, but I'd be like, I'm gonna go in California Adventure, but. I think if it's Walt Disney World, what do I think of? Where would I go first for if I didn't live here and I was traveling here? I think maybe I'd go to Hollywood Studios.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think because
Because
on that.
you think it's going to be a short day?
No, on the arrival day, I feel like my body's always kind of weird on the
You're a
travel
little
time, and I want like a
tired.
little snack, a little drink, and I feel like I can mosey around a little
Watch
more.
Fantasmic? Yes or
yeah,
no?
yeah, yes, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
Because you got to stay up if I'm coming from a different time zone, or even this thing. I like to stay up so my body gets acclimated.
That sounds good. I
like
think
the
I'd
time of
always
the
start
trip.
at Disney Springs.
Yeah, Disney Springs. I would say my vote for a park would probably be Epcot, because then there's enough to do at Epcot that, like, let's say if you don't want to splurge on Genie Plus or Lightning Lane for that
Yeah.
day, you could, you could do Spaceship Earth, you could do Living with the Land, you could still see fireworks, you could eat, you could
Just
drink.
eat, yeah.
Low commitment, high quality.
Also depends on
day.
time of year for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
If it's if I'm going to start off a park early in the morning and it's this summer, I'm going to start at Animal Kingdom because I don't want to be there when the sun hits the
That's
sky.
true, yeah.
That's a good
High in
tip,
the
yeah.
sky,
Good tip.
Oh yeah.
And the rainstorm, it
Right.
gets that very rainy. We have that like mid-afternoon
Oh,
rain,
always.
so you're just kind
and
of
that's
like,
coming soon.
yeah. I'm not looking forward to it.
I know. Craig, what's your vote?
Magic Kingdom, unless it's like
Whoa.
during
Yeah.
the
Start in Magic Kingdom?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. You should. I think Magic Kingdom is where you should start and end your Walt Disney World
Ooh,
vacation.
good one.
The only way I don't agree with Magic Kingdom is, as we talked about seasonally. If it's like a not so scary or very merry, and the park's closing at 6, like you don't want to pay the money for a ticket on that first, or maybe you do want to pay for that first day. That's a long day. though. But I mean, minus like something like that getting in the way, that's where I would start. It's Magic Kingdom.
Well-
In 2025, maybe I'll choose a water park.
Oh gosh.
Emily
Sell
in the
it.
chat suggesting just explore your resort on that first
Oh,
day.
yes,
Which I do
yeah.
feel like I am one of those people that is guilty of like anytime. I mean, granted, anytime I'm staying on Disney property, it's usually for work. So it's one of those things where I feel like I don't ever like actually experience the resort I'm at or the amenities or just like hang out and relax, like sit in the lobby. Like, if you're at like Wilderness Lodge or something like that, that's like a beautiful lobby to like sit and hang out in or.
Well, they're not all built equally. Like
That's
you
true.
can't.
Yeah.
You don't want to sit in the Pop Century lobby?
I mean, at least
Hey,
with
I enjoy that.
Well,
You
with
can watch the
Pop
cartoons
Century, you
people
can like
watch.
walk around and you can look at all the different like kitschy things on the
Statues, yeah.
buildings. So like you have it for that, but it's after you eat, then you're kind of like stuck. There's not a good bar hangout place for it. But with Pop Century, you're on that Skyliner line. So that would be
that's
my
true.
first day is do a Skyliner crawl to all the other resorts and kind of take it in that way. So, but we've just to clarify though. Jen said if you're arriving at 11 a.m/noon.
Oh,
So
Okay.
putting that
Disney
out there.
Springs and shopping and
Yeah, you could go
For
to
me.
the pool.
I'd
then
say
go to
that's still early
Springs.
enough that you could be like Magic
could.
Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom.
I get Craig's argument about Magic Kingdom because I used to be.
That has to be
like
my
that.
last day,
Yeah,
or multiple
yeah.
days, but that's the last.
I mean, I
park
get what
wanna
he's saying
exit
though.
Before I go home,
I feel like seeing the castle really brings in that thing. It's that same
Yeah.
thing that happens to me at Disneyland. We walk in down that main street and you see that castle and you're like, I'm here. I made it. It feels like that where you're like breath at the finish line almost, even though
Yeah.
you're really
Yeah.
just starting your marathon. But you're like,
Yeah. It's every park has its own special aspects to it, but Magic Kingdom it still literally has magic in the title. And like
Oh,
nothing
does
against an
it?
Epcot or anything else like that. I think it also can be a really special experience, but it just doesn't tug on my heartstrings the same way. I need that.
you have a heart.
I need that special. Believe it or
Breaking
not,
news.
I don't care to show it to you.
I know you never
Oh.
do. It's so sad.
I think that is how he shows it. With this
I
Disney-
feel like I'd be remiss. Like if people have Disneyland questions, you can ask those too. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
please.
it's the name of the episode. I put Disneyland in there, Universal. Listen, you have access to the questions too. You can pick and choose.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
see what they're asking.
yeah.
Oh, here's with
In
the
the
wild
chat,
card.
Wow.
in the chat, I made a specific question
I
portal.
can see this.
Yeah, I see where it says start asking your questions here, and that's it. That's all I
Well,
can see.
you drop down. You have to drop
I
down.
clicked
that.
it and it says start asking your questions here. Ask something.
Oh, you're not. You're logged into your account, not.
Yeah, because I didn't know if it would be something weird if we're all on the same thing.
No.
Does it matter?
No.
Oh, then I'll log into the other thing.
Okay. I'll ask another question
Sorry.
in the meantime.
All right,
here,
let's
let
do
me.
it.
Choose.
Any unhinged ones?
Shoo.
Any fun?
One unhinged. I'm
Yeah.
sure there is one.
It's kind of been our
but,
style recently, I think.
Oh, I don't care for how my spine looks.
I'm
in this
starting
video.
to learn
I'm getting saggy in the front.
how bad my eyes are. I need
Saggy.
I
Talking
need
about
the
me?
words to be a lot
Yeah.
higher.
Buttons all the way down. from
Okay,
now
we're
on
gonna
for
go
the
with
show.
a Steve Porter question and go with
about Steve
is
or
there
from
an
Steve?
attraction or topic you'd nope, that's a different question. Choose one ride / attraction to get rid of and one international ride to add at Walt Disney World. I feel like he chose this
Oh.
one based on
Loaded.
my Small World stuff from the other week.
Well, I'm still
that.
not over that. I'm sure everyone else is.
I
either.
can't see the thing. I can't figure it out. Sorry.
Okay.
It's. I see where it says questions. Answer viewer questions live, and when I click on it, it doesn't show me any
So what would you
questions.
get
though.
rid of? That's what he's asking. Ooh,
What
something
was
just
that?
fell out of his pocket.
I'll be honest. It could be a million different things. It could be cords. It could be something important.
Posters falling off walls.
We're
Sorry.
still live, so
I can see
Or
it. It's
pets'
in a
heads are
bag.
falling off.
A little baggie of something just fell out of his pants. Okay.
This is arugula. He brought that for lunch. What was the question? I'm so sorry.
choose one ride to get rid of and replace it with an international ride.
Each park or just at
Just-
Walt Disney World?
buddy,
This is hard.
It's an hour-long show.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Choose a ride to get rid of. Journey into Imagination.
Oh.
And what am I replacing that with? That would go at Epcot. That's an international attraction. Come back to me.
I've got one. I would get rid of, and this is just, I don't know, left field. I would get rid of the, I don't even know, Journey into something about Little Mermaid in Fantasyland, New Fantasyland, and I would put Journey to the Center of the Earth there. That's wild.
Oh,
But
I
I
like
just
that.
anything from Disney Sea, I'm like, bring it on over. And then, yeah, I'd bring that.
I don't really know. Like, I'm trying to think. I'm not well versed in the international parks and their offerings, so I feel like this is like a tough. Where I'd be like, yeah, Zootopia land. Like, I want the Zootopia
Have
ride.
you been international?
But
No.
that doesn't belong in
okay.
Epcot, so it's one of those weird where
Well,
I'd
it doesn't
be like,
matter where it belongs.
okay, then put it at where Journey into Imagination is and make it Zootopia.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
You can do whatever
Sure.
you want. It's your brain. It's your idea.
It's my park now.
It's your part.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want.
That's my vote.
Okay.
Now, my vote would be as much as I do want to still get rid of Small World and replace that with listen, there was a bunch of people who shot me down, and then slowly they started coming out of the woodworks and like, actually, that makes a lot of sense.
No, they can go back in the woodwork.
Listen,
Wait, you want to get rid of Small World?
yes, at Walt Disney World, get rid of It's a Small World, and then the new Tangled Boat Ride that's coming to Fantasy Springs at Tokyo, put that in there. And then it connects into a little mini Tangled Land
Where
right
are you
in
gonna
that
put
area.
Small World?
It doesn't need to exist here. It's an inferior version.
I know. Here we go. I felt the same.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Wait till I'm dead and gone before you stab me with something like that.
You know
That's
what?
horrible.
If my stress with this episode keeps going up, you might not make it past the end of this
Oh,
episode.
well,
and I'm
what
willing.
are you stressing about?
Yeah.
It's just a lot of
Is
stuff
it
here.
me?
A little bit, mostly you.
What am I doing?
You just annoy
What
me.
about me? I stress them out as well. Is it the combination of the two of us?
Wow.
He needed some devil's lettuce before he got this episode started.
Pick up your-
Probably.
Pick up your arugula and take a snack. Oh my god.
Anywho, my choice that I would say is we've talked a lot about Beyond Big Thunder Mountain and how that could really open up more room. What I would do is keep the Big Thunder Mountain loading area where it is and have that there. But if Tom Sawyer Island is so irrelevant, then literally drop the rest of Big Thunder Mountain over on Tom Sawyer Island the same way that Disneyland Paris has their Big Thunder Mountain set up. And it's the most incredible
Yeah,
version.
but you can't have two Thunder Mountains.
No, it's
Why?
you take the current track for Big Thunder Mountain, you literally take it, dismantle it,
Gotcha.
do a track replacement, put it on Tom Sawyer Island, and then what happens at Disneyland Paris is you start out and you pull out of the station and immediately you start going down and you go in a tunnel under the water, and when you pop out, you're on the island. And then the entire attraction's on the island. And
That's
then to
cool.
get back, you do this, it's this awesome drop where you start going down and then you see the tunnel in front of you and you're zooming back underground under a tunnel. And then when you get back on the other side, you pop back up and you're there. So it then makes Tom Sawyer Island useful for something new in that way. You have that there, and then you have even more area around there to start building more.
I like
Wow.
that.
Ask me what
that
I wanna
idea can
do.
stay.
Teresa, what would you like to do?
I want to expand Small World onto Tom Sawyer Island
Oh.
and populate it with all the countries that
There you
aren't
go.
currently there.
Oh.
Right?
I wouldn't be.
Name one.
Doesn't matter.
Name one.
Name one. Malta.
There you go.
I enjoy
Well,
Malta.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry
of
if I just
course.
insulted our
Our
viewers from
small
Malta.
world could use a
I don't know
little
where that is.
help.
I don't know what that is.
You know, just add in.
Or just, I
I mean,
if
I know
you
it's set
expanded-
countries, but bring in more. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the characters at
I do too.
Disneyland.
I like
That'd
it.
be
It makes me
fine.
happy. It brings me joy.
Next question.
Yeah. Next question.
I really need. I have too much going on here. I mean,
I don't know how. I clicked the button. It said answer questions live, but when I click that, all it does is give me the option to end the chat. It doesn't show me the actual question, because otherwise I would just take it over and look at it. But I'm like, I can't figure it out. I know.
Maybe
I don't know. I didn't
Teresa
even
and
know
I
you
will
could
just start
keep asking
each other
questions.
Right.
Well, my question is to you: how do I see the questions?
Okay. What country would you add to the World Showcase? Start
Wakanda.
with Teresa.
Oh.
Starting with Teresa and
Malta.
answer for a while.
Malta.
I enjoyed my time in Malta. I really loved Malta. Don't start with me. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you have to, because he's going to help me. So.
Okay, so World Showcase, add a country. I think I'm gonna go with something.
Okay, gotcha. Thought it was the chat.
I don't
okay.
know. I don't know. There's so many choices.
Well,
What would you go with?
Well, he wanted you to talk so that he
I'm
didn't have to
talking.
change
I
the
can
thing.
talk.
But I'm going to go with Wakanda from Black Panther.
Oh.
I'd like to see some of that brought into the parks. And I know people are like, oh, well, Animal Kingdom and you know, Africa's over in Animal Kingdom and stuff. And I'm like,
And he's a
yeah, but
panther.
all we have for Africa in Epcot is just the refreshment outpost that is never very reflective of
I know. I
the
don't.
many countries on the continent of Africa. So I'd like to see some of that. Like, I don't know.
Expand it.
that'd be fun.
It's a good
Wakanda
idea.
forever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they can do anything with Black Panther here or not. I don't know if he's on a picture somewhere at Universal or whatever, but it's my dream. Yeah.
your
I
dream.
share in that dream. I'd like to see it at Animal Kingdom, Epcot, anywhere. I don't know, maybe Ireland or Scotland, something like
That
that.
would be nice.
And then if we're keep rolling with the IP thing, I guess we could do, I don't know, we could do Scotland and we could do some Brave Merida attraction, maybe.
I believe Scotland is part of the United Kingdom.
Okay, but
Yeah, details. How about Malta?
how about Malta?
How about Hawaii? Alaska?
Is that the title of
Get
this
there.
episode now?
Country.
How about Malta?
How about Malta?
How about
Hey, that's a new
Australia?
T-shirt.
How
about Malta?
about
I'm writing it down.
How about Malta?
Yeah.
I know people
wait
in
a
Malta, and we
second.
have listeners in Malta. So don't.
I mean, why don't we, okay, so let's pull a Craig and let's just bulldoze everything.
No, that's my
around.
next question. That's my next
about-
question.
And then we
Legit.
just expand the UK, and then you also get
I think we were going-
England and Scotland and Ireland.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
train
it's
can go under the water and connect them all.
Yes, yes.
wow, they
Teresa
are ganging
gets
up
it.
on you now.
yeah, I know. And it's like, I'm
tried to
sorry
get
that
out
I'm
of it
breaking
today.
to you that the UK is made up of Wales, England, Scotland, Northern Ireland. Sorry.
We know
I-
that.
Yeah, then
Why
how
are you
come we
telling
only
us
get
that?
London? It's a travesty.
I mean,
Right.
I believe they're trying to make it as stereotypical as possible to try to blend
Hip, hip.
all of those
Cheerio.
areas. I'm not positive with it. That's an answer for, people from the United Kingdom.
That's
to
a
say.
question, not
I
an
feel-
Well,
yeah.
now that they're doing Mary
Liechtenstein.
Poppins,
Liechtenstein. They need their own little world.
All right, I've got a
It'll
better
be the same
question.
size
What
I
as
got a better
Denmark?
question.
I just-
Denmark
I'd
would
like
be
to know what you.
cool.
The
what do you
last
want
thing
to
I'm going to say is I don't need anything else added to World Showcase. I want to see Australia take over part of Animal Kingdom because, they're going with all the other continents.
Yeah.
They're going with Asia,
They got
Africa.
kangaroos over there.
I want to see Australia. And you have, Finding Nemo the musical is already such a big part there.
Yeah.
I think that should take over part of Dino Land
you.
USA.
We've thought about
and
this before.
Really, really blend that in. And of course, then we can also bring in America's favorite Australian character,
Hugh
Bluey.
Jackman? Who?
Bluey, yes.
Bluey. Oh, okay. Yeah, but he's not. It's not like
Do-do-do.
Disney would have to do some
Jackman.
heavy. Would have to
Listen,
buy it, right?
Singing Crocodile Dundee.
Bob Iger's willing to spend money on anything. They should be spending money on theme park rights exclusively worldwide.
Well, don't. If we're bringing in Bluey, I want Doctor Who in the UK because why
right.
isn't one of those telephone booths blue?
I
is a
mean,
good
that would be
point.
great, but you would just be disappointed by whatever they did Doctor Who related.
Well, I'd open it and be like, this isn't bigger on the inside. So I'd be sad. No, I love Doctor Who. Okay,
You
here's
can
a
see the
question.
questions now?
Yes, I can.
Wow,
I thought when I was
alright.
clicking the questions, it was just the regular chat, but it was all the questions people have asked.
Awesome.
So this one comes from Patrick Martin, who's asking, besides Small World, are there any other legacy rides that you'd get rid of? He says, I vacillate
know.
between getting rid of all of them and keeping them for life. So I'm curious, what other legacy rides do you feel like are not living up to the hype, living up to the property that they currently occupy? Like, we can go, like, I'm trying to think, go through park to park. I mean, I guess technically Magic Kingdom, you're like, that's a legacy. When you think legacy, you think opening, like something there. But I'm thinking like the other parks. What are rides at the other parks? I already said Figment at Epcot. That needs to go. That ride sucks. And there's giant wasted space in that other dome that they were going to make the play pavilion. That's never happening. What's going on over there? Stuff like that.
I wouldn't mind just a refresher. Like, I would love
No,
Carousel of
the
Progress to
question
get Pixie
is-
Vested.
Eradicating it.
Yeah.
No, then
Exterminate,
there's
like the
nothing.
dialects say. I'm
Nope.
going to keep Dr.
No,
on it.
I'm
you
not
have
that
to keep
girl.
them because no one will
Girl.
remember the past. They're going to get rid of all the, and then children today aren't going to know these things.
Yeah,
if they
and
get
they
rid of,
are
and you
mean.
can't. It's like history.
if
You
it-
can't relate. You can't
We're
relate.
not going down that road again.
She put her hand up. Love it.
You can't take out parts of history. I realize there's so much. Am I off? Am I
We've
not
had
even
this
talking?
conversation
No,
before
no,
on the
no.
show, and I don't want to
we'll
go
tell
down
you
that
after.
road
We'll
again.
tell you after.
Okay.
No. I'm not making fun of you. It's just funny. We were talking about something. The
I'm
other day.
just. I don't know. I just feel
No.
like you
Okay.
shouldn't take away these things that Walt was involved
Well,
in.
I know I do agree. We
You're gonna
talked
make me
about it.
cry.
Hannah said this too. We've talked about before, where it's like, why are we subtracting when we could be adding? There's so much property here, right? So like,
Right.
why take away when we can add? But here's
Because
another
it's
thing.
not all just about adding, it's about keeping the parks fresh, and that is what Disney is losing sight of, is that you can keep stuff that is getting older and older and older, but that audience is going to die out, and they are going to start going for what is newer and flashier. I am so sorry to break this to you, but it's the same thing with saying, why aren't young kids using Facebook like
Okay.
everyone else? It's because
I
they
disagree.
found
I
new
don't
ones.
think that-
Well,
that's
the-
not a fair
my-
It's
comparison.
not dying out. It's like, okay, we like mid-century things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Mid-century furniture. It's not dying out because you got to keep it alive.
It's a cycle. Everything
You
comes
got
back.
to. That's
Yeah.
like my kids. They're all adults. Yeah, okay, they're adults. But you got to tell them. You got to keep reminding them about the past and about, because it's not going to die out if you keep it alive.
What?
Right? Who, Mr. Christmas sing-along man? You love Christmas. You listen to the
I'm
old songs. You only
Mr.
listen to new Christmas songs.
Yes, I do. And you know what?
He does
Then
not
I
like
get
new Christmas songs
You know
at
what
all.
I get? I get Rhino sitting there
Hey,
saying, "I don't want to
DJ,
listen to
put
any of
Christmas-
this."
Oh,
So
no, not that again.
technically, yes. I see your point to an extent. However, the entire part of Walt Disney World is it's not there to just be a nostalgic kingdom. It's to bring people in and get them to spend
Oh,
money
I
and make
understand.
money.
Bring in new shit.
And what's
stuff,
gonna happen
you know?
is eventually they're gonna start finding places that are wanting to stay with the times. And I'm sorry, eventually it's going to get to the point where something like Peter Pan is going to be kind of laughable compared to what other places are
I've
doing.
said it before.
Oh,
Peter Pan can go.
No, but
Yes.
Tokyo's
No.
keeping
Peter
it.
Pan
They're
can
getting
go.
new Peter Pan.
I
and
don't.
they're
Yeah, a
keeping old
new Peter Pan.
Pan.
The Peter Pan here is not. I get that people have the nostalgic thing, and the boat thing is cool and everything like that. But that ride needs to go.
But we have
It's not good. It's not
Stitch
long. It's not
sitting
great.
empty in Tomorrowland.
Well, my
like,
ride
Right.
was
we
going to
gotta,
be the
you know,
Indy
start with the
Speedway.
priorities
Beat
here.
it.
Yeah.
That, I would be.
Giant
so
chunk of
if
land.
I'm listening to you, so this is gonna be like, what's the movie Idiocracy, where they go back to the future in that ride, and they thought they were. You've seen the movie, right? Mm-hmm. And they're actually riding a ride. And the guy thought he was gonna go back to the past in his life, right? Is that what Disney's gonna be like? Just a broken down? Because I want new things. I want to experience new things. I want them to bring in new things. But we can keep the old stuff too. Why
Yep.
not?
Yeah.
Well,
here.
I think there's the stuff. I think it's more of a balance of finding the things
Mm-hmm.
that resonate through time. And that's arguably Disney is one of the studios that has the most stories that have made it through the stretch of time. I mean, the kids still know who Cruella de Vil is, who Captain Hook is. I know I said the thing about Peter Pan, but these are sort of like timeless things. But it is that it does become. I guess it's sort of the way an attraction is built and how it functions. Like, I think about the fact that, like, for me, my first trip to Disneyland was in 2015, and I rode Indiana Jones. And for me, when I rode that Indiana Jones adventure, I was like, this is an incredible ride. But it was 20 years old at that point. Like, it's like 25. What is it now? It's almost 30 years old.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it is one of those rides where I still ride it and it feels younger than it is. And there are rides at Walt Disney World that I feel I ride that feel a lot older than they are. You
Exactly.
know what I mean?
And I think that's as much as I love Country Bear Jamboree, that was an exact example of why that needed to change. And I'm happy that they're giving the Bears a shot with new music, but if that show is not up to snuff, if it's not good, then I would rather see the Bears go completely rather than have a substandard show for them. And I think that's what is happening with a lot of Walt Disney World. I think there's just a lot of rides that aren't getting the attention. And just because you can get rid of a ride or a story and replace it using the same story. It just has to be done better. You have to be able to plus it and open it up to a new audience, get new people saying, oh, this is why I want to keep coming back. These are the stories that I want to see and live now.
Like Haunted Mansion, I feel like is one of those rides that stretches through time because it is like
death is forever.
It's just one of those what?
I said because
Death is forever. And
We're
death
all
is
gonna
inevitable.
die.
We can all relate.
We can
to
all
that.
relate to the graveyard scene. Yeah.
We might as well just peek. We're peeking behind the curtain a little bit, and but it is one of those ride. It's a combination of things. Where is the ride system versus how it tells the story, and that whole thing, and and they do work on it. They add things, whether you like it or not. The Hatbox goes in there. Not that he really impacts the story or anything like that, but I think about like that Usher's stairway scene that wasn't there when I was a kid.
Right.
We can add stuff. We can make it relevant. We can make it fresh, but we can make it like fun and exciting. Still, and there are some things that I think that reach their point where they can't be done anymore. I would argue that Peter Pan is one of those things that can't. That attraction is so small and short in this day and age when everything's around it. Retell that
so
story in a
joyful
better
and
way.
Quaint and
I know what you're saying about that sort of like.
I still think you could even plus Peter Pan because the Peter Pan at Disneyland has things that Disney World doesn't. Like it has enhancements with like the Tinkerbell.
I mean, it's a
stuff
superior
and
attraction there, 100%. That's why theirs is
even
better.
that would be a plus. But I think and even Craig is kind of coming back to like Country Bears. We're refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah.
not getting rid of. We're
Okay, but the question was,
oh god,
What
you have
legacy?
to pick a ride to get rid of, and that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
you guys
Well, I picked
weren't
none.
answering that
I
question,
mean,
but I'm
what'd you
skipping
pick?
that,
I
and I'm
did
going to let
zero,
everybody
nothing.
else in this room answer this next
Default.
question.
Okay.
Because I don't have children, so I don't matter. It's
Oh my gosh,
you
you gotta
matter?
quit with that.
I don't
right
matter
now.
for this
Right.
question.
Okay.
Which parks at Disney are best for kids under the age of 8 and a teenager
And a teenager.
at the same time? It's a tough one.
I'm gonna say Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom. Yeah.
Because I mean,
For a teenager?
it's-
13-year-old.
Yeah,
14-year-old.
because you
Yes.
have the Space
15-year-old.
Mountain.
Is it a boy or girl?
You have Tron.
Doesn't matter.
You have Big Thunder.
I think Tron is
Fiona's
a big deal
Bayou
for
Adventure.
teenagers, though. That is a good point.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
mean,
if it's a
it's not
big
like they
deal for
can-
teenagers, but it's
I
a
think
roller
it's another
coaster,
thrill
so,
attraction, yeah.
It's you've got enough roller coasters at Magic Kingdom. You'll have Tiana's Bayou Adventure soon, and even if they don't like everything else in it, you're gonna like the drop. And I think it's the nice balance. You have stuff for the kids, you have stuff for
Magic
for
Kingdom.
older ones. That's kind of it. There's not enough at Hollywood Studios. I think the
For
teen
kids.
would enjoy it more, but not enough for the kids there.
Would agree.
So you're on Magic Kingdom. You're on Magic. You're all
Magic
saying Magic
Kingdom,
Kingdom.
yeah.
Interesting.
The only other thing I would say is maybe Animal Kingdom, where with Flight of Passage, if Everest is having a good day, Dinosaur, you got a
Again, it
couple
depends
thrills
on the
there,
child.
and even a teen's
True.
going to find the safari interesting.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was going to say the Tree of Life, which is cool. If all the animals are up there, I already said it earlier, and I wasn't being facetious. There are kangaroos up there. How often you see kangaroos in your life? So some of that cool thing. I think Dinosaur's a great ride too. So whatever.
I do too.
I feel like this is a fun question. What is your Mount Rushmore of Disney experiences property wide in Florida? So anywhere on Disney property in Florida, what's this like thing that you're like? Because mine used to be the one that I held in my head was the eating in the castle, and we did that last year. And so I'm kind of like, I don't know, what's a new one for you? I've never stayed at the Polynesian. I think like that would be fun to stay there for like 2 days or something like that. Yes, I know technically I said I did.
No, I'm still trying to So the Mount Rushmore, I see that as these are the greatest, and you put the 4 greatest up on the
I
side of
thought
a
it
mountain.
meant like what's the most
Oh, really?
achievable
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Okay, never mind. Then I
I'm
misunderstood the
going with
question.
what- I was
I'm
like
sorry. I thought it was like the
confused.
thing that you're trying to. I think I'm thinking Everest.
Like-
What's your Everest
Oh,
climb the
gotcha,
mountain?
gotcha.
Yeah, that
Okay.
would,
Rushmore would
Everest
be-
is high. The the Mount Rushmore would be. Hey, these are 4
castle,
presidents that we
yeah.
think are pretty neat.
Okay.
So let's put them on the
Then
side of the mountain.
what? Okay, then that's a little. Then
So we got.
okay. So what do you guys think of dining? Let's say for dining, we'll do like dining and then attraction. I feel like those are two. Dining, attraction, resort.
Oh, moron.
I
This
know.
is too
Yeah.
hard.
What's the Mount Rushmore of resorts here? What do you
Okay.
think?
So for
I like
dining,
resorts.
I think you're going to have Satuli Canteen. Canteen.
I think
Viva
that's
Co.
best quick. I think that's top quick service right there. Yeah.
Maybe Hollywood Brown Derby in there.
For sit down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though I've never eaten there and I probably will never be able to afford it, I feel like you're going to put Viennese in there just
Ooh, I've been
for.
there.
No, we can't put that there. That would be an Everest because I was going to bring that up for my like.
That can
that's
be-
my.
point.
But it can
shoot
be
to
also. I mean, It's amazing.
But
dining.
we haven't experienced it, so you can't be like, this
Teresa
thing that's
has
really.
it.
That doesn't-
I've been
Put it on
there
your
2 or
mountain.
3 times. Yeah.
Oh, so it belongs.
I'm on the other
Rushmore?
side. I'm not going back.
Yeah,
I mean,
No longer afford it.
yeah, I know. Someday I dream of it.
I've never met George Washington. That didn't stop him from being on the side of Mount Rushmore.
Wow, guys,
Fair enough.
This is dive deep here. Okay.
Okay.
but-
Oh, no, go ahead, go ahead.
And then another great one.
You're still
California
done.
Grill.
Okay.
What do you guys don't have anything to contribute to that? The dining, you don't have a
dining's
Mount
like
Rushmore
too
dining?
hard for me,
Okay,
and my
so-
dining picks are strange.
Mine are too. Because it's not about the food. Sometimes it's just about the atmosphere for me. And I know it's probably not going to be popular.
That's okay. Teresa, it's your opinion.
I'd put 50s up there.
Terrible choice. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
The
just kidding.
aesthetic,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
I just enjoy it. I like
You
it.
did. I went with you. We
You
went.
did.
Yeah, and I hated it.
I know you
Experience.
did.
You saw. Yeah, but I did not like. I felt like there was a lot going on that
But I'm
day.
all about the interaction.
I know. I can see that 100%.
I
You're just
I
loving
mean,
that.
I love to see people go in there and just squirm and leave miserable because they're not.
So I was the entertainment for
You
you.
were the entertainment for
That's
me.
great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just and it's not about the food for me. It's the interaction and the atmosphere for that.
Okay.
So that's
a
I would
good
put
one.
that up there. Yeah.
I feel like a Mount Rushmore for me, like I'd be like, this thing is one of the things I think about Walt Disney World, and like it is like top. Like if I had to make a collage or a vision board of things I'd want, a Ronto wrap. I know it's stupid and it's just a snack.
I like that.
But for me, it's one of those where I was like, I can't get that unless I'm at Disneyland. I can't get that anywhere else. I like it. You know, I want it. Like it's one of those where I'm like, if you were coming to Walt Disney World, you'd never been, and you were like, "What's the things I want to eat?" I'd be like, number one, do not leave that property until you get that snack. You know what I mean?
Let me be clear with my list. I'm saying in terms of what do I am making mine as what do I think if you're like going on an all-out once-in-a-lifetime trip and you want the best of Walt Disney World. That's what I'm looking at with it as.
I'm not
with the
judging you.
Mount
No, see, I'm
Rushmore.
thinking of as anyone can look at the Mount Rushmore and know that we're talking about Disney. You know, like the iconic thing.
Oh my God! I
That's
did
why I'm
not.
saying that.
I'm not going to lie to you guys.
yeah.
Every single question that's has been asked today, everybody has interpreted the question differently, and I think I hate this. I don't ever want to do this again.
I don't
Maybe
either.
hopefully other people will
This
like
is my least favorite episode we have done
Oh,
in
well, I'm just
probably a
going
long time.
home now.
I'm so
Right.
close to
Oh
saying
my
the F word like
gosh.
3 times.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I just wish that we could have a straightforward question without technical
Wow,
things
what's the
to it.
difference about this and all the others? Oh, I know, it's me.
No,
Yeah,
my God,
that's-
Teresa.
this is starting to feel
No,
personal.
I just I feel
I'm
bad.
gonna
It's not good
go
enough for
behind
you.
the pole so I can't see.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
Mama. This episode.
Get back behind your pole.
It's not good enough for Teresa. That's what it is. Anyway, okay. Elizabeth's asking a question that said, I mentioned earlier that you can make the wrong decisions at Disneyland, and they're leaving for their first trip in 2 weeks, and love to hear more about what the wrong choices are. We all
At
go to Disneyland,
Disneyland?
yeah.
Okay.
And I know that Craig and I operate differently while we're there, but similarly sometimes. And I've been with everybody in this room except for you, but I will be going with you in May. So
Technically,
yeah.
we were there at the same time, just not.
I don't remember you. I don't know what to tell you. How many times we're
Really?
going to bring it up?
Unforgettable.
Hannah was in the room with you, and I'm like, I don't know. She sat right next to you.
No, she
I
was
don't know.
right over here.
I was like,
right?
was she the one who took Craig's seat?
I don't even know. I think, yeah, I was.
I do
She-
actually
Yeah, I
remember
was.
you. Sorry. So
She was
that
about
weird.
2 people away, and we were on the same tour around
Oh, that is
Disneyland
true.
together.
Wait,
That
so
was
you
a
were there
great
when the
tour.
horse licked my arm? Like, tried to eat my whole arm?
Wait. Oh, yes.
Remember?
Are you
He
talking
like,
about
yeah,
the
the horse put my
Yeah,
arm in
'cause
its
I was
mouth,
the
and I was
weirdo
like,
who
what do
was
I
like-
do?
That was a
Go with
highlight
it.
of the tour for me.
Wet.
So
Yeah.
we went on this VIP tour, and one of the big perks was that you got to see
It was
the
like their
horses
new
backstage.
VIP tour.
Yeah, so it was like a level above,
I forget what they called it.
Yeah, it was like you got to do backstage stuff, and that was a highlight for me was seeing the horses
How did
in
I
the
miss
barn.
that?
We went into Walt's apartment and everything.
We
was
did.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were on the
And my
tour
highlight was
too.
the
I just
horse
don't know what your group
But I don't
did.
remember a horse. That might have been when I was medicated into my room with a kidney stone.
No, every
I don't remember the
every
horse thing, no.
it's
You were
we
out
split
that
up into
day.
3 groups and everyone did something different because the one group got stuck inside the
Oh, yeah.
21 Royal for like 3 hours straight eating Bengal barbecue.
That sounded pretty good, actually. We were Team Extreme, and I'm the one who named it that.
Yeah.
And that's everything you need to know about me. Okay, back to
Did
the
you
Well,
ask
so-
What was the question? I don't
The
remember
question was,
Yes.
what are the wrong choices at Disneyland? So they're basically going for their first trip, and they want to make sure they're not making the wrong
The
choices.
wrong
so,
choices.
Can I do it?
I think
you go.
Well, I think a big
don't know
thing
what the wrong
for
choices
for us. I mean, I know Craig's the same way too. Is that when it comes to dining at Disneyland versus dining at Walt Disney World, is at Walt Disney World, it's a very like planned out. A lot of people make these reservations. You kind of have to work your day around it. Disneyland does not have as many dining options in terms of like sit down restaurants, and I would argue that like I don't think you need to plan your day around them necessarily. I mean, unless you're doing like Napa Rose, and that's like you've gotten that, you know. But even then, we had luck where we've gone in and we could go sit at the bar, you know.
The only thing to plan around with dining is if like you scored a big reservation for Blue Bayou, or you're doing a Carthay Circle dinner package, so you have World of Color seating, stuff like that. That's on the special side. Otherwise, you know, it's quick service there is on a better level.
Yeah.
Or they have their their cafeteria style ones like Plaza Inn, where you know or even how the new Tiana's restaurant is. That's still that follow the same way French Quarter did, where it's cafeteria and you go up and you choose what you want, but it feels like a little bit fancier than just a quick service window throwing food out at you. So I feel like there's enough happy mediums on their dining that you don't have to just do all sit downs to have a great time. You can sprinkle in quick services and cafeteria styles with that. My thing I would say is don't make the mistake of sleeping in
Oh my God,
or
this guy.
leaving the parks early because it gets busy. Listen, the amount of times that I get up and I'm there for rope drop, I'll get like 10 attractions done before Rhino comes in and strolls in. And it's like
well rested.
Well rested, yeah.
You know what? It's a vacation.
Guess who doesn't get sick on the trips?
Well, and Craig probably hasn't been well rested. And
Rhino
since your
is
child was
sick
born.
after every single trip,
After,
too.
not during. You are the one who was gargling thermoflu the last time we went.
No,
to
usually because I get sick on the plane ride over. All I'm saying is you have to rope drop Disneyland. Californians don't usually get there quite as early.
Yeah.
So you
especially
can get,
on a Friday night, they're coming in at like 4 p.m. That's when like you're thinking like, oh, it might lighten up. That's when it's getting crazy.
But they
Right.
also leave early. So in that last hour of the night,
Yes.
if you choose a compact area, so like if you save Fantasyland for night, you will literally run to every single attraction.
It's
in
my
that
favorite
area
thing to
and
do,
get it all
actually.
done.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
Disneyland, use that afternoon nap, even if you're staying off-site and you're at one of the Good Neighbor hotels. Still take that break anyways, or go to one of the other Disneyland hotels and have lunch there or something. Do it that way. But get there early and take advantage of your time and stay there late.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. He's not wrong. And that's the joke. It's just that I need 8 hours of sleep. But the thing is, like, I have done rope drop at Disneyland before. He knows that. Did it the last trip and stuff. But I'm not as urgent about it. But the stuff you can
You do
do
get a
in
lot
that
done.
morning thing, you can fly through the attractions. And the other part is too is that I think that Genie Plus is worth getting at least one of the days of your trip there, especially if it's a day where you have a hopper pass, because their park to park hopper starts at 11 now, and on top of that, like, I don't know that there's necessarily enough at California Adventure that for me would necessitate it, but there's definitely more than enough at Disneyland. So going back and forth, and if you are up there and you're doing that on one of those days where you're there early, like, you are going to be able to hit attraction after attraction after
Right.
attraction. And so I do agree there should be a day where it's like open to close, you know. But any other day, I definitely
take
am
a
like
break.
the opening and the evening. The evening's the best part too, because the lights,
Yeah,
they
the
light their
weather.
parks unlike anything how we light it here. Like every area there is like lit beautifully. I think it just comes to life. It has a whole nother personality. And then so I'm like eating morning to evening when I'm there. You got to get your grilled cheese and your tomato soup at the
Ooh.
Jolly Holiday, and sit over there and just people watch at the very end of that night if you time it
that is
just
so
right when
good.
it's closing.
I've done that before.
Here's another thing too with it. If you do the early method, you'll make sure that you get a nice fresh breakfast chimichanga.
Yeah,
they're
that
not going to
he
be
does.
sold out at Disneyland.
Oh,
but
those
beyond
are
that
good.
too,
Did go get a
I'm so
backpack full of
hungry
them
now.
last time to bring back to him because
That's
he didn't have a
amazing.
ticket.
it was not
And
quite
he was
fresh,
like,
but it's
"You
okay.
had better
It was
wake
still
up."
appreciated.
It's because I actually sat and ate mine
I
and then
know.
went on a ride. And
He
then
does
brought 'em
every
back.
single time I send him in on the last day to get it. He's like, "I'm coming right back out," and then it's like 2 hours later, like, "Well,
Sorry,
you know,
some
I
people
then went
stopped me and
around
said hello."
It's
Yeah,
okay.
that sounds about right.
I've accepted it. It's if I don't have the ticket, that's on me. So I get it fresh one day in there. If you do the attractions and get your breakfast chimichanga, all that, get that out of the way right at the start, and then after the first like hour and a half in there, just slow down because that's when you're going to start to see a lot of the characters pile out. And I'm not talking on Main Street. When you first walk in, you'll see the Fab Five, Cruella, usually out and around. I'm talking back in Fantasyland. You're going to start seeing the genie and Aladdin pop up and
Yeah.
just like walking around with people. And you're going to see, multiple times throughout the day, you're going to see Mary Poppins and Bert getting on the carousel, and she'll ride Jingles, her horse, the Julie Andrews horse. And then, you'll see Alice wandering around, you'll see Merida wandering around, and some of the times they go on these attractions too, and it's like,
Yeah.
when do you have the chance? You're not getting that in Walt Disney
No.
World. You're not getting the chance to ride these rides with these characters. So
I mean,
just
in Galaxy's Edge, if you hang out there long enough, as of recording this, like Ahsoka was still coming out. I was there, and Chopper came out, and he
That's awesome.
wouldn't stop, wouldn't leave me alone. It was like 20 minutes of interaction, and I'm
Yeah.
like, and it was one of those times where I was like, all my friends failed me, and no one actually took a picture or a video of me with him, and I
Oh.
can't tell you how sad it made me after. But
Yeah.
Maybe it
So
didn't
the only
happen.
one who got it, I think Kylie got a little.
Yeah.
What are those things called that go back and forth? The boomerang.
a boomerang.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he was like trying to take my food and like
Oh,
walk
that's so
around. And it was
cute.
fun, but it was like
Magic of
it
Disneyland.
makes that becomes an attraction, and it becomes this other thing, and like it's the. So I think you also have to
Yeah.
be prepared to approach the parks in a different way than you approach them. Like, be prepared to shift your
But I think
expectations
that's
as you go.
also why you have a strategy. So you go in the morning, knock out those must-do attractions, and then that
For
way you
Fantasyland,
give
for sure.
yourself the gift of time.
Yeah.
In the afternoon, I totally agree with the food. I love the food at Disneyland, but I don't eat as many table services there as I do here. Like I could go Disneyland, not eat a single table service, and be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
like to
they're-
share a lot of food
Yeah.
because honestly, there's if you're going there and there's a festival or even just whatever, they always have special items. They always have new things to try, and it's like I want to try so many
Yeah.
things when I'm there. Like, and every time I come back, I'm like, oh, I didn't get that. Like, I still haven't fully explored the San Francisco area in
it's
terms of
also
their
good.
dining. I've only had like one or two things, and I'm like, I want it all. Like, I want to try
Yeah.
all of this, but
Yeah,
it's
there's
hard
just
being a glutton.
little like for me, I will never not want to go to Napa, and even if I'm sitting at the bar, sitting and having like a really nice dinner by myself, that's something that I enjoy thoroughly there. But like with Disneyland, like in terms of like Carnation Cafe for me is like I like getting breakfast there once, if I don't go too often between trips, like that's one of my favorite breakfast spots. So I think I look for little ways like that. And like I said, with dessert parties or with dining options like Riverbell Terrace, it's not a place I feel like I'd ever go out of the way for. But when
food
it's
is
your
good
way to
there.
get, it is good. And when you get Phantasmic seating, when
Yeah.
Phantasmic is happening and you can get Phantasmic seating for just a little bit more doing that prefix menu, then it's like, okay, this
used to
is,
give you cushions
this
and
is a
everything to
steal.
sit on, too.
Yeah, those aren't the days anymore, but
Yeah.
still a good spot. So
Missed
that's when I really try to like look for actual table service. Is can it get me special viewing areas for somewhere, or is it like an early meal where you just still
And even-
going slow?
Even with some of those special places, like I like to try to see if they have like a lounge, like because like Carthay,
Yeah.
you can, and if you are there early in the morning, like if you're there like right when Carthay opens, like that lounge you can like walk right up into,
Right.
and
And I enjoy
it's
the
nice,
lounge.
and
I
they
prefer the lounge.
I do too.
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, because like you can order a lot of stuff from the menu in the lounge, and I feel like it's a solid place, and I think they've kind of expanded the seating area like on into the outside like sidewalk area, and so like it's good. It's become a good people
And
watching.
you know
area,
what?
too.
It wasn't our love language right away, but I now love Lamplight Lounge. I think it was the last time when
yeah.
you and I had our
don't, or you
brunch
do?
there. I do. It
Yeah.
wasn't at first. Like the first couple times I went, I'm like, this is fine. It's okay. I don't need to go back here. But I think it was by when you and I had brunch there, and we got our little boozy, cinnamon.
Yeah, the cinnamon toast crunch. We were also
little
on the
morning
lower
thing.
level
that.
outside.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
And
that's
it was
cool.
like, you know what? I am going to order a beer after this too, and just sit here and relax and take it all in. And we had
Wait,
now.
you guys were in that special out the room?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
I was
we-
like,
Rhino's
wait a
done that
second. Well,
before,
of
but-
course.
no, we
Oh,
were-
I've been in the room. Yeah, I
We were-
Well, me too, but
somebody's
We were
birthday.
downstairs. We were downstairs seated at the outside bar, so it was like
okay,
it was
gotcha.
just a good
Yeah.
area.
I
and-
don't think the room's fine.
Yeah,
I
and
love
that wasn't even the last time I was there. The last time I was there was even better. It was they switched the ABD final goodbye from Carthay to Lamplight Lounge.
Oh.
And we're like,
Oh,
order the
nice.
entire menu if we want. We don't care. I'm like,
Oh.
yes, I will.
Yes, yeah,
I will.
I think I will.
Like, you get two. You can have 2 drinks each. I'm like, yes, I will. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
Teresa, what do you have? What's your like must do at Disneyland for somebody? They go on their first trip. What are you going to tell them to do? I know
Slow
you love
down.
it there.
Slow down. Slow down so you don't run over children.
Well, no. Okay. I wasn't going
That's
to get. Thank
important.
you, Craig. Let me look this way.
Very good.
Just don't approach it like you do Walt Disney World because it's different. And I think, I like the idea of early morning and late at night and chilling in the middle of the day. But I also like the idea of adding, don't think you need more days. Because I like to go back in and out of the park multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm not a stay in the park all day kind of person. That's why I want my resort. I want to be in a resort right there.
Yeah.
Where
Yes.
I can come in and out.
Well,
at
you
will.
can't be if you can be at Grand California, or even I think Pixar place is technically even closer now than Disneyland Hotel because they have that entrance again.
Right.
But it's like, it's weird. It's so weird because you're like your room's closer than your car would be here.
Right.
Yeah, which
know.
is incredible.
And it's so convenient, and it's so, to me, it's just so laid back. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but Fantasyland is spend all the time you can in Fantasyland.
Yeah.
Because, shut up.
No, I agree. I love Fantasyland.
Yeah.
I love their Fantasyland.
That's why he does the
It
road
just-
trip. That's where he goes right away.
Really?
Did they say they're going with kids, or did they say any dynamics about their family?
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
been so long. I'm not sure if they even asked the actual question.
We just love Disneyland.
I think a good thing to bring up, though, it's not to be like negative with it. I think it also depends on, are you having a Disneyland vacation or are you having a California
Right.
vacation?
That makes a difference.
That's a good
Because
point.
if you're having a California vacation, then, go crazy and do 2 days, maybe
Yeah.
a third one, but there's a lot to see and do in California, so don't overdo it. But if you're doing a Disneyland vacation, literally go slow, soak everything up. If you have 4 or 5 days there,
Oh,
take
it'd
it
be
all
perfect.
in.
Yeah.
Make sure you leave the parks at night at points and times and go to Trader Sam's to sit outside and enjoy that atmosphere. Like do all of that. But if you're doing California and you have limited time because you're going to see everything else, then go crazy, go fast over 2 days.
Well,
Take me with you.
I know. Yeah.
That's what you
I
need
love.
to-
There's no better vibe for me than that California evening. That sun sets and that like
And there's no
cool air
humidity.
sets in, and there's just like something about it, just feels and sounds different, and just hits just right. Just
does.
vibe when I'm out there. I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, I think that's going to do it. Oh, one more
We'll do
question.
one
You
more
want to do
question.
one more? Okay.
We spent the first 25 minutes of the show, I feel like, talking about IKEA and nothing helpful. So
People like IKEA.
Okay, well, how
That they
about
do.
this? I don't actually know the answer to this because I've never done this for holidays, but the Roddy Brown is saying, my family is thinking about visiting Animal Kingdom on Christmas Day. I know Magic Kingdom is swamped, but how are the other parks on Christmas Day? I will say, in my experience as a cast member working there on, I think I have worked on a Christmas Day like once, and it was awful. But the holidays, like those days that are busy like that, a New Year's, a Christmas Day, is the other parks often do get as busy. Like so like they would do a thing where they write it on the board where they're like, Magic Kingdom has different phases of closing, and as they did it, you'd see like other parks would get like that. But I think of the two, it was like Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom were usually less in those phases, and I think Animal Kingdom was in that phase the least. like ever having to approach like a closing. In
Makes sense.
but that was also, at this point it's like almost 10 years ago. So.
Yeah, but I
30
mean that
years
hasn't really changed because capacity dictates that, and
That's true.
the
And
too
Animal
small-
Kingdom is
yeah.
gigantic.
Yeah, and
technically.
Hollywood Studios is on the smaller side, but not, people go there now because of Galaxy's Edge and
Right.
everything, but it still can only hold so much.
Well, and the Christmas
Epcot
stuff
can
now,
hold
too.
a ton of people, so that's why it always
Right.
has a good threshold. And same with Magic Kingdom. Honestly, it's one of those things where I feel like when I've gone to the parks during that Hell Week, it's always just one of those feelings where like the rides are super busy. The walkways aren't always awful, so it
Right.
doesn't always necessarily feel as crowded as it is. There's always going to be choke points. Like it always will suck between Peter Pan and It's a Small World. It all bottlenecks.
Because the
in there.
popularity of Small World.
That's right.
I
That's
think
right.
people are trying to leave that nightmare and head
Oh my
towards
gosh.
Haunted Mansion and other excitement.
about
But
Beth.
They're lingering.
I think it's really that. If it's like it's not always going to feel awful, but just be prepared. You're going to stand in some lines during those times, and if you don't want to stand in lines, then
Go a
I
different
don't
time of
bring a
year.
book.
Well, I think
Well,
too, go earlier
Switch.
in the day. Like I've
Yeah.
noticed even
Like
Magic
the video
Kingdom
game
on
system,
Christmas
not a Switch.
Day. Oh,
Sorry.
I see what you
Sorry.
mean. But Magic Kingdom even on Christmas Day, if you go right at opening, it's okay. I mean, it's busy, but it's not unbearable. So I think, go early regardless of what park. So, and maybe take the evening off if you can.
There's another. Well, there's two more questions, so I'm just going to answer them. How soon do you think we'll see drone shows in Florida parks or Disneyland? I
Oh.
live next to Universal Studios, and I will tell you, lately, what has been creeping me out every single night, and now I've realized what it is that for the last week at night, it's been kind of foggy, and I was walking the dog like a week ago, and I was looking up, and I was like, are the clouds changing color? And so over my area where I live, it's been like slowly shifting colors. And I was like, well, those can't be fireworks. So then I saw on Instagram people posting pictures of drones at Universal. And I was like, well, that explains.
Yeah,
I
they're
thought there were like,
testing.
I got scared for a second when I was like, is there a war going on right now? That I was like,
Oh, Lord.
that is about to.
You
this
never
is the
know.
anxiety I have. I think a meteor is going to hit me while I'm walking the dog at night, and that spirals me out
Really?
of control. Oh,
We were
that happened
driving
me
to
during
the port.
Not happened to me, but
We were at the port last night. Stella and I were, and we were going down the beach line, and we were just about a mile from the office in Port Canaveral, and the rocket went up.
Oh, yeah.
And I had forgot it
Oh,
was
did you
going up.
hear it?
Oh, I
felt
thought
it?
the Earth was the end of
Yeah.
the, and Stella's like, "What's that?" And I look out. I'm driving, and I look out the window. I'm like, "Oh my god!" It was just, it was so close. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like a ball of fire in the sky, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Wild.
Stella's like, "Watch the road."
What a
And it
wild
was,
place we
but it
live
was,
in.
it kind of made me think it kind of creeped me out.
No, it's
Yeah.
weird because there are. That's the thing when you live near a theme park, you don't know. Like I hear when they're testing fireworks and stuff because I can feel it and hear it and stuff. But that was one where I was like, this is like one of those movies where you're like, is the tripod from the War of the Worlds about to step through this cloud right now?
Oh, Lord.
So I like, and then I saw online they're doing that. So I assume that we're gonna get drone shows sooner than later. In
How funny
Florida,
that
who knows though? They
Universal-
could just be doing it for a special event. They could be doing whatever.
No,
but-
I think they're testing it.
Oh
and
yeah,
then-
no. Universal's going to start utilizing them more and more. With Disney, I mean, listen, I pushed hard for them to bring the
you hated
electrical
that
sky
Christmas.
I know,
parade
from Paris.
from Paris, and everyone shot me down saying they can't not have fireworks at Magic Kingdom. So I think if that's the majority on that, then we're never going to see them at Magic Kingdom. Epcot, I still am concerned. It has to be a 360 show where the drones would look the same from every view and angle, which I don't know if there's anyone who's really doing it in that way yet. So I would say no to Epcot, and that leaves Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom. So,
just wanna
but
hit
Hollywood
the
Studios
birds and
already
the
has
animals.
Fantasmic, so they have a big one. Well, they've done drone shows at Animal Kingdom. They did it. They did it for, I think it was Pandora, Avatar, one of the two. They did a special drone show there. It was that same year when they were running the drone show at Disney Springs. So it's possible they go down that road eventually, but I just don't know if it's in the cards for our parks, if it's what people want to see.
I think Universal's going to do it. It's going to look pretty cool, and Disney's going to be like, well, darn, we
Yeah.
should have done that.
I mean, I'm excited. I either way, I think it's cool. I mean, listen, I know nobody really asked Universal questions, but I am excited for what the future of
You ever
Universal
flown a
holds
drone?
for sure.
You ever had a drone and flown?
No, actually, I don't think I have.
They're hard to do.
I'm too
I don't know how
intimidated
they do it.
that I'll
It's amazing how
break
they
it.
do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, because it involves like the upward motion.
I don't understand it. Cause
I have flown a drone. I'll save that for the post show though, because I will.
All right,
okay.
put a pin in
We'll talk
that.
about that.
Well, last question. Weather in Orlando, first week of April. What should you expect? I think we will be on the cusp of that, like, stormy season's been happening because we had a thunderstorm the other day. I
one tonight.
think, yeah, and so I think we're about to enter that. So I'd pack for rain, perhaps.
Humidity's still not too bad.
Not too, yeah. It
But give it
hasn't,
another
honestly,
2 months.
at night the last little bit. It's been still,
has
I
been
was
humid.
walking the dog and I was like, I will acknowledge it has not been terrible at night the last couple of
The weather changes
days.
quickly here, though, so I wouldn't pack far in advance, and I would just plan to bring light layers.
I'd look at it the week
always.
before.
And also, first week of April is probably gonna be a little crowded because I think Easter
Is
that
April
last
1st.
Weekend.
Yeah.
April 1st? No, it's not.
I think it's last.
It's
weekend
April
in
1st or it's March 31st.
March
It's March
31st.
1st.
Yeah.
Same,
The-
same thing. So I think it's gonna
One
be
day
pretty
different
crowded.
there, Hannah. One day.
Whatever.
That is true. Oh,
Tell
yeah.
it to Jesus.
Yeah, it's whatever day you want to celebrate Easter. That's when it is.
Okay.
Whenever the bunny comes and
yeah.
poops the eggs out.
Yeah, BCE did ask how's the humidity, and
I think it's
pretty okay.
rising in this room. Okay.
It definitely is. I mean, it's Florida. Florida's always going to change because every
Yeah,
single
give us a weather report.
every single
Cloudy today.
We're
is
at that
cloudy.
point now with Florida where our 10-day forecast it's showing always like on days like 6, 7, 8, like we're gonna have a temperature drop, and then we get there and it's like no,
Nope.
it's
Nope.
actually
Yeah,
gonna
just
be-
kidding. It's
So,
80. You're
high.
like,
we're definitely out of our little cool period that we were having for a while. We're now back into the heat.
I
and,
keep watching the birds fly
it's,
behind
it's
Hannah.
a shame.
Ugh, Saturday's going to be
Shame.
85. Ugh.
Being up here on the 30th
Yeah.
floor.
All
be
right,
there.
well,
Yay.
that's going to do it for this episode of the Diz Unlimited. Thank you, everybody, for submitting those questions. Who did submit those questions? Sorry, I am slightly Amish and can't figure out technology very well, and I apologize to the Amish for my joke. It was not a slight to you. You
Because
people.
they're watching.
I don't know if they are, but if you are watching this on YouTube,
Saying
please
all
don't forget to click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave us some comments, and if you're listening to this, when you have the time, please rate and review this wherever you listen to your podcasts, and
Only
don't forget
positive.
about Dreams Unlimited Travel when planning your next vacation. Thank you again also to all of our Patreon supporters who make this possible as well. We'll see you during that post show. Thank you, everybody in this room, for being here. Thank you, Craig, for not strangling anybody while we were doing this.
Yet.
Yet.
Yes. Yummy, yummy.
Should I leave now?
That's it. Yeah, that was my cue. Get out.